Hello guys, today we'll continue Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. So in the last video, we in the part where Apollo asks himself, does the defendant use the glove or not? Now we will continue. Save point. Let's see, profile. Okay, so we can see their hand. Okay. No way. The record of the murder weapon is very clear about one thing. The fingerprints were wiped, which means some trace of prints remain, which contradicts your testimony. If everything happened as you say it did, he won't have had time to wipe the pistol. That may be, but it does not change what I saw. The killer, the defendant. He threw down the murderous weapon from his hand and fled. And this pistol was found at the scene of the crime, strongly suggesting that this was the weapon he disposed of. That sounds solid to me. Well, here forehead, any of your precious objection? What gives Apollo? Let's see that voice training. Good work. You know, I only recently realized something. No matter how much you train your voice, it doesn't matter if you have nothing to say. What do you mean, nothing to say? Isn't it obvious from what the witness just said? Huh? Isn't what obvious? When he restated what he saw just now, he said he saw Woki drop a murderous weapon. But that's not the same as being 100% of what Woki threw away. You're right! He's just confused because a pistol was found at the scene. Oh, Mr. Stickler, it must be hard to be so perfect yet so wrong. Well, it can be said that I'm quite offended. But it is indeed true that What we can say for certain is that the witness saw the killer throw something. Does the defendant have anything to say about this? Probably the defendant threw the sheaf. I'm sure about that. Continue. Save point. Well, if what he threw wasn't a pistol, then it had to be something else. At least one person on the defense team seems to be thinking, ugh, I wipe that smile off your pretty face, Gavin. Perhaps you can inform the court as to the nature of this something else? What did the killer throw away before fleeing the scene? Okay, I know the sheep. Is that a sword? I saw one of those on the late night movie last night. Great, a safe-deprived judge. This knife was found at the scene of the crime, with the defendant prints on it. His prints? This single piece of evidence proved two important things. One, that what the defendant threw down wasn't a pistol. Two, that the defendant wasn't wearing gloves. Indeed. Oh, here, forehead. You're forgetting two other things you just proven. Huh? One, that the man the witness saw was the defendant, Mr. Wokikitaki. Two, that the defendant was holding a knife with the intent of harming the victim. Oh! Indeed! Never underestimate a Gavin is the lesson here. This court is of the point that our witness is fond of making assumptions. In that light, I believe it will behoove us to hear about what really occurred. With less assuming, please. It is always the same with you people. Mark left the house on foot, and 5 minutes later, his brother left after him. How long would it take for Mark's brother to catch up to him? Assuming that Mark never had to stop for traffic light. Assuming, yes, that's what I said, assuming. As if that were a probable situation at all. Yet here you are assuming that my assumption is no better. What's this? What this court assumes is that the witness will testify as to what happened after the shot was fired. From shot to call. I could not prevent the killer from leaving the scene, nor could I simply leave the scene in good consequence. Ergo, I used my cell phone to call the police. Until the police arrived at the scene 10 minutes later, I saw no one else. Why didn't you chase the killer? He was, as you say, a killer. Of course, I could have run him down, yet what would he have done when cornered? Sadly, it takes more than the aptitude for solving quadratic equation to know that. Need the testimony earlier not prove the defendant's presence at the scene? And do we not also now know that there was no one else there? It seems clear that we have our killer. Does it not? Does it not, Mr. Justice? I better find a way to take this testimony down quick. From shot to call. I could not prevent the killer from leaving the scene. Press. Which way did the killer run? By that time it was clear the killer had noticed me. Naturally, he ran in the opposite direction. That will mean he ran in the opposite direction from the Kitaki mansion. Acting. Don't even think about pointing out that he was going away from his home. All he had to do was look back once he was out of sight. How did he know that where I was going? Nor could I simply leave the scene in good consequence. You were certainly composed for someone who had just witnessed a killing. If one is to devote one's life to the pursuit of science, one must never flinch at the sight of a little blood, nor be so moved by a chemical discovery that one drop one flash upon the lab room floor. Oof, cool answer, very cool. So nothing strange about how he acts. Plus he looks like he has something to say. Ergo, I use my cell phone to call the police. Press. Wasn't your first thought to call an ambulance? It can be said that I have dabbled in medicine. The injury I witnessed, namely a single shot to the head, tends to result in death. Ergo, there was no need for me to call an ambulance. Oh, a perfect syllogism, approved in 3 parts. Exquisite, simply exquisite. He actually looks like he going to cry. Until the police arrived at the scene 10 minutes later, I saw no one else. Press. Can you tell us in detail about these 10 minutes? I stood in a state of heightened awareness. Anything could happen at any moment. Anyone could appear from any directions. Is that all? No one came. Nothing happened at all. It was late at night. It's not odd to think that there would be few people around in the park. So we just stood there watching. Not much to go on there. Let's see, if you got something to say, by all means say it. I can't find a single problem with the testimony. And enough at last, here forehead. Maybe it's time to back off a bit. Yes. There's nothing fishy about the testimony at all. It appears there are no objections to the witness' current testimony. There are any numbers of ways to explain the lack of print on the pistol, I assure you. Perhaps the killer really was wearing gloves which wiped the previous user prints off. Then after the deed was done, this fell out of his pocket as he was throwing the gun away. A mistake befitting of a small-time punk, in my opinion. No. No! Did I choose something bad? Did I choose something bad? It seems we come to the end of the line here. No, that can't be all. How unfortunate. It seems that you weren't cut out to stand on the same stage as me. Were you here, forehead? I believe this brings the cross-examination to a closer. This court will now declare a verdict for the defendant, Wokikitaki. Eeh! Tersi! Nobody move! What's the meaning of this? Who are you? There be no verdict in this court. Not yet. Wait, are you one of the Kitakis? The Kitakis? You mean the notorious gangsters? If you don't want to see me give the pretty little girl a new smile, do as I say. Adjourn the court for 20 minutes. What? This court will not bow to pressure from the likes of... Here, Judge. I see little point in further aggravating this gentleman. Ugh. Recess, 20 minutes, or I promise you, you regret it. Whoa, he disappeared. Wait, how he disappeared so fast? Come to the defendant lobby, Apollo. Okay, I suppose I have no choice but to adjourn for a 20 minutes recess. Bailiff, catch that mysterious man. Yes. June 16, 11:07 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. Tracy! You move quick, Apollo. Good show. Tracy, you okay? I thought... Don't cry, Apollo. Ugh, those good for nothing gangsters. Yeah, some things you just don't do. I'm pressing charges. Wait, just calm down, Apollo, or else. Oh, what the heck is that? Surprise? This is one of my best tricks, the amazing Mr. Hat. You look marvelous, darling. It's a big hit on stage at the Wonder Bar. Yes, I'm a big hit, ha 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 ha. Okay, that's it for today, guys. Bye bye.